Another regular on the program on Tuesdays. I am happy to be joined now by Shannon Donovan from the marketing department at Capital OTB, the marketing minute, as it were, here on Racing Across America on Tuesdays. Good morning, Shannon.
Hey, Seth. How are you?
Very good.
I always look forward to our Tuesday visit.
We're happy to have you on board, absolutely. And we have a few things to talk about. One of them, talked about a little bit already, on the Handicappers Report, as Tuesday means I'm partnered with Mike Jarboe from the Times-Union, but I want you to talk a little bit about last Friday, Black Friday here at the Clubhouse Racebook. It was a Black Friday happy hour bankroll with Tim Wilkin and Mike Jarboe from the Times-Union, our friends that I'm up in the press box with them all during the Saratoga meet and enjoy the interplay they have there. So I said it would be very entertaining down here. And I stuck around, and I was sitting in here doing some work on Friday and walked out just prior to them starting up at about 2 o'clock. It was a nice crowd down here on Friday.
We had a very nice crowd. Yeah, and they had a pretty good day. They hit a few races. They hit a try at Aqueduct, and then they hit the try on the Clark Handicap at Churchill. So they played the full card at Aqueduct, and then they did some races at Churchill and then a couple at Del Mar. But yeah, they finished with $320 as far as finishing balance on the bankroll. So anytime there's some cash going back to the patrons, we look at it as a positive. And those two were terrific. They had a lot of fun. People were entertained while they're here. And yeah, we had a terrific crowd.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, the carols were full, the bar was full, and the little seating area out in front of where they were, which is now kind of the sports center area down. Did we mention that last week, the new sports center area in the Clubhouse Racebook?
We did mention that.
Yeah, okay.
And what we did was we moved one of the picture frames here at the Clubhouse Racebook, and then in replacement we put up 6 TVs all right in a row, and that's specifically the area for sports.
Yeah, so if you're coming down here on the weekends, you are not going to miss any of the big sports action. It's all up there on the big screens, and you know, at nighttime as well on some of the weeknights, so you can come down here. That was fun. Wilkin and Jarboe, a happy hour bankroll. Everybody that participated walked away with a little bit of money. They got off to a rough start because I was watching the stream, and they were snake bit early. But as you say, and then Mike mentioned it earlier, hit that Clark triple, all 3-year-olds. I had Jenny Reese on with me on Sunday, and she said, you know, if you box up those 3-year-olds, it was a pretty nice little triple. So they bounced back at the end of the day.
Well, the key horse was Opportunity, and that's who they loved, and then they just put a bunch of horses underneath on there. And they just missed earlier in the day, and they had a couple horses broke down on the backstretch going in. So
yeah, they were snake bit early.
Sometimes we know you need some luck in horse racing. So.
Yeah, so they turned it around late, and as I say, everybody who participated got a little money in their accounts. Coming up, speaking of bank rolls and getting a little money in your account, we have a chance to do that coming up at the end of this week on Friday with John DeSilva.
Yeah, we're using John again. You know, we try and use him a couple times a month. We also promote him because he's got the pick sheet that we have on the website, all the days of NYRA, and those are specifically for the early pick 4, the late pick 4, and the pick 3. He does that sheet. But this Friday, he's going to be doing the late pick 4 at Aqueduct, and $200 he'll wager on the late pick 4 with 20 patrons who will randomly choose from entry forms that are online right now.
Yeah, and as always, you can learn more about these promotions, capitalotb.com, and these kind of things. You sign up on the website, capitalotb.com. And folks may have noticed, this isn't our trophy. It is kind of, it should be an award-winning show. There's so much that goes on here every day, but it's not for the show or for either Shannon or myself. This is going to be given out this weekend as we wrap up the year of monthly handicapping contests down here at the Clubhouse Racebook. Talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, this is for the Capital Cup. This is for the one seat to the NEC Tour event out in Las Vegas. That's January 23rd to 25th in Las Vegas this year, and that's run by the DRF and NTRA. This Capital Cup, it's $200 entry fee. Entries are available online. You can also pay that day at the door. You have to check in with us between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. on Saturday. We'll post the races. There's 10 mandatory races you have to play. You're going to be playing 5 races from Aqueduct, 5 at Gulfstream. And on Thursday, we'll post the races that you'll be betting on. Everything's a $2 win and place wager, 1 horse in the race. Positions are capped at win at 20 to 1. In places 10 to 1. Winner take all on this. It's whoever wins gets the seat to the NEC, which includes the entry fee, which is $6,900, airfare voucher of $400, and the hotel at the Treasure Island, which they host the event at.
Nice. And
So it's an $8,000 package that the person is winning.
And you know, you say Aqueduct and Gulfstream. Gulfstream opens on Saturday with the Claiming Crown, which it should be a fun betting event. So it should be very intriguing for the players. But it's open. Obviously, if you've been playing monthly, you want to come down and participate in this last one. But even for folks who haven't been to a contest before, they can all come down and play as well.
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter whether you played at any time, during the year with us, because we did end the Player of the Year last month. So this is freestanding. This is by itself. The only person who can't play in it is the winner of the Player of the Year. Also, I do want to mention that if you do already have a seat in the NAC Tour, you're disqualified from being able to play because you already have a seat at the NAC. So we want all new people who don't actually have a seat to the NAC. And you do have to be an NAC Tour member, registered with the NTRA. You can go to ntra.com. It's a $50 membership fee, or you can pay Saturday morning when you check in with us.
Nice, and again, a great prize package. It'll give us all a little rooting interest for that Las Vegas tournament. We'll have a local player.
Well, we'll have two local players out there.
You're right, because
the Player of the Year and then the overall champion here come this Saturday.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. And how has the attendance been at the monthly contest so far this year?
They've been really good.
Yeah,
it's been good and steady, especially our ones that we do online.
And I have said, I can't participate anymore since I've been here on television, but prior to that, I was a regular at the handicapping contest at the old Teletheater. I used to go. They had a spring and a fall contest at the Hinsdale Dog Track over in New Hampshire. I'd drive over there. The contests are a lot of fun. You have to think about it a little bit differently, handicap a little bit differently, but they're fun because you get a crowd of people also. You're playing along, you're competing, but there's some camaraderie as you watch the races and you look at the leaderboard and whatnot. They're a lot of fun.
There's a lot of strategy involved.
Yeah.
It's not only you got to hit the horse, but also you're trying to get some value, and depending on where you are on the leaderboard. Now, the nice thing about our venue here is we run the handicapping software program through United Tilt. So every time you place your wager, and then the race becomes official by the track, there's a leaderboard in-house on the simulcast feed. You'll always know where you are on the leaderboard. So that's the beauty of the tournaments that we run here at the Colorado.
And it's fun too as it gets down to the end of the contest, because you don't know how many bullets the next guy has, and if you're sitting, do you go for the $5 horse that may just put you over, or do you go for the $20 horse thinking, what's the other guy doing? So you're right, there's a lot of strategy. And even if by the end of the game you're not up there participating, just kind of watching and seeing what the other guys at the top of the board are doing is fun.
Well, we've changed it up. I mean, the last couple of years we used to do that where you had an option of what races to play. But now with this past year, we
that's
choose
right.
the races.
So the bullets,
the fun,
okay.
The fun and excitement of it is everybody's playing into the same race.
Right to the end.
So everybody's standing up, everybody's hooting and hollering because everybody's betting on the same race. Versus when it was an open book, you didn't know who was playing what and where.
Yeah, and that's a fun thing too. There's a lot of different formats for these contests, which brings in various strategies. As I say, you have to change up your strategies typically from day-to-day betting anyway and look for some value. But then the contests themselves, you have to look at them a little bit differently. That's very interesting. So again, that's Saturday. More information on the website. But what time's it kick off?
Depending on what the first race is going to be that we choose from, but we'll probably kick off roughly right around 1 o'clock, quarter after 1, 20 after 1, somewhere in that vicinity, because we'll start either with the third or fourth race at Aqueduct.
And when will you know that?
I'll know that by Thursday morning.
So that'll come up on the website so folks can start handicapping.
Yeah, because we'll have 5 races from Aqueduct, 5 from Gulfstream, and obviously we'll spread out the races. We'll look at the turf, especially at Gulfstream because we'll be on the turf there. So we try and have a very nice balance of races.
All right, should be a lot of fun. And again, give us a couple of local folks to root for come Las Vegas tournament time early next year. All right, Shannon, as always, we appreciate the visit. And for more information on promotions and events, you can go to capitalotba.com. But again, thanks for the visit.
Thank you.
All right.